Hello, ladies and gentlemen watching on YouTube. Welcome to race number 28 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Food City 500 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This time, the night version of the Food City 500. 60 laps of racing at the world's fastest half mile. Look at the starting lineup. In the last row, it's Jackson Traeger, Stuart Campbell in the top 10. It's Carson Gum on the pole, with Dylan Young in second. Row 2, Patrick Smith, Daniel Bouchard. Row 3, Matt McIntyre, Jay Jefferson. Row 4, Michael Norman, Jessica Shelton. And then Row 5, Ashlyn Boyd and Daniel Voiles. Let's get the command to fire engines for the Food City 500 at night at Bristol.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers on the track for the pace lap as we're getting set for some great racing here, possibly here at Bristol. Pace car is pulling into pit road, so ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It is time to boogity 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 go racing. Carson Gum led the first lap, and Carson Gum's been looking for his first win of the season. In fact, he is the highest driver in the point standings yet to win a race. 9th in points. He's been back and forth between 5th and 11th in the point standings over the past few races, but he's looking to get back into the top 5 in points and hope to get closer to the championship battle, as he comes in 97 points behind the points leader, Zachary Fitzwater. So if Carson were to come out with a huge victory tonight in hopes that the drivers ahead of him in points struggle, he could get a massive points gain heading into our next race on Wednesday. But I was going to say, so with Bristol, the last time we ran here at Bristol, we had a really good affair that saw Raphael Leduc pick up the first win of the season for himself. And right now, Carson Gum slowly pulling away. Oh, but a caution has come out for the first time. Oh, it's Stuart Campbell upside down. Stephen Colon with massive damage. Oh, 2 of the top 5 in points. Scott Groverston and Raphael Leduc were involved. That is huge championship implications right there. Groverston going to stay on the try and continue. Leduc staying out. Looks like Chris Dollarton got some minor damage in this mess. Looks like a multi-car accident. I can't see where it was on the racetrack. Could have been right here in 1 and 2. But Carson Gum is the race leader, so let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Bristol. This is going to go down as probably the most bizarre accident of the season. Watch ahead of Stuart Campbell. It's Scott Groverston and Rob Evans, and Raphael Leduc about to go 3 wide here in 3 and 4, and it looks like Rob Evans tries to get in front of Scott Groverston, but just not enough room to make it happen. Ends up turning himself across the front end of Scott Groverston's machine, and then they're both going to go sliding down the track. They catch it right there, avoid a spin, but then the real craziness is going to happen. They come back onto the racetrack. Groverston's going to come up into Stuart Campbell, into Raphael Leduc, and then watch this. Leduc goes high up in the air, 4 cars up along the catch fence and the wall. Leduc going above the catch fence. Groverston riding the wall, and then Campbell and Colon both go upside down, with Colon going for a couple of slow barrel rolls down the Bristol banks, while Campbell just slides upside down. But you want to know the incredible part about this is, Stuart Campbell is still... He teleported to pit road, and he's still driving on the racetrack. He's going to be well off the pace for sure, but somehow a miracle doesn't end up out of the race and is going to be able to continue, which is absolutely insane. But let's take a look at it again. But look at the air that LeDuc gets. He gets the wall pretty good, and look at him. About a good 10-15 feet down hard on top of the wall, and then comes back on all four tires and continues to drive. Same with the 42 of Groverston, but Colon definitely got the worst end of the deal as his engine completely toast. And I'm curious, did he actually drive the car back? I'm going to stay on this real quick and watch the 8, see if he actually is going to drive the car back. Yeah, he is. Unbelievable, and with a messed up motor... Man, like I said, the most bizarre accident of the season, maybe of all time, arguably. I don't know, but anyways, let's take you to the restart here at Bristol. So after that first caution, only one car out of the race, and that is Stephen Colon, with Stuart Campbell and Scott Groverston 1 lap down. So we're going to spend a couple laps under caution to try and see how things are looking. But let's see... 1 to green, so we're going to get through the top 20 real quick. Carson Gum is your race leader. 2nd is Patrick Smith. 3rd is Michael Norman. 4th, Henry Sanford. 5th, Dylan Young. 6th is Ashlyn Boyd. 7th, Alyssa Drayson. 8th, Caleb Kilburn. 9th, Jordan Forbes. 10th, James Qualls. 11th is Matt McIntyre. 12th is Daniel Bouchard. 13th, Melissa Alexander. 14th, Charles Sanford. 15th, Cole Deaver. 16th, Jay Jefferson. 17th, Joey Parkhill. 18th, Jesse Turner. 19th, Daniel Voiles. 20th is Jonathan Zorline. Pace car into pit road. We are back underway. Gonna stay on the 62 of Stuart Campbell and watch and see how he drives. Is he actually up to speed? I think he is up to speed. That is absolutely incredible. Look at the dented hood of that car. Yeah, he's still up to speed. I can't believe that. Going upside down, yet the motor's still good enough to beat out the leaders, and we got a new leader now. Patrick Smith took the lead from Carson Gum because of the 62 going by. That has got to be one of the best things I've ever seen, not only in the history of this series, but in the history of this channel. Look at how mangled the hood of that car is. Like, the posts are kind of... The B post and the C post dented in, caving in a little bit, yet he is still up to speed. I can't believe that. Kudos to Stuart Campbell. Not the comeback season he was hoping for, but a memorable moment that he managed to take a car that went upside down, not only go by the race leaders for a moment, but still up to speed. I am just floored right now. But anyways, back to the stuff going on up here at the front. Yeah, Patrick Smith took the lead over from Carson Gum after that craziness happened, and now Carson Gum trying to get back to the front. He just went by Michael Norman to get up to 2nd. Now he's got Patrick Smith in his sights. Norman falls back a little bit, and meanwhile Henry Sanford kind of quietly buying his time to get into the mix, as now Carson Gum took the lead back from Patrick Smith, which does help for Henry Sanford to now close into this battle. And then another driver slowly buying their time, Alyssa Drayson, trying to maybe play it safe for a bit before trying to go for it and get up there into the battle for the lead. But Dylan Young, despite dropping a spot in points after Watkins Glen, he's been on a roll, getting a couple of victories. Maybe he could go for win number 3 tonight. Same for Alyssa Drayson. Same for Henry Sanford. Well, actually, Henry Sanford going for win number 2. Michael Norman still searching for his first win of the season. So too is the leader right now, Carson Gum. A lot of key contenders looking to go for something big as we're getting ready to come to 40 laps to go. Still a long way to go here at the world's fastest half mile. And also pit stops are still going to be a big factor. But I feel like because of that caution, I believe everybody's going to be good on gas because they've spent quite a bunch of laps under caution, so they didn't have to be in the gas all that much. Save up a little bit of gas, so they should be able to make it on a one-stop race. Meanwhile, Michael Norman was a little bit faster than Carson Gum that previous lap, but Henry Sanford was way faster than the both of them up there. Meanwhile, Dylan Young now finds himself in 5th, right behind his teammate Stuart Campbell. I mean, just look at how much the B and C post caved in on the roof of that car and the buckle on the front end. You would think he'd be the slowest car on track. No, he is still up to speed, which I still cannot believe. Cole Deaver made a bonsai pass to go by Dylan Young to get up to 5th. Cole Deaver tied for 30th in points coming in with Joey Parkhill. So for those wondering how come only 9 drivers made it in from the knockout qualifiers, because I don't do tiebreakers. If you're tied for 30th, you both get into the next race. So that answers that question for all of you who are wondering. Looking around the field as I'm looking for some of the championship contenders. Alyssa Drayson, who came in this race 4th in points, 83 out, currently in 9th, but about to drop to 10th as Jonathan Zorline goes right by. Next up, let's see. There's Caleb Kilburn, who comes in 3rd in points, 64 out. I believe he's going to drop to 19th. But yeah, the top 2 in points have been very absent tonight. Where is Fitzwater? There he is. Last time scored 34th, probably got up to 33rd. And then Scott Groverston, there he is. Last car on track and a lap down. So he is looking to be guaranteed bottom 5 for this week, which is going to be big because... And also with Fitzwater being so far back in 33rd, Fitzwater, I believe, would gain more than 10 points on Groverston, so he would extend the points lead. Now he's up to 32nd, which would make it even bigger. But because he's so far back, and a lot of the drivers in the top 5, like Drayson and Kilburn, and even some in the top 10, like Boyd, Young, and Gum, are way ahead of the 12. So the point standings in the top 10 will be shaken up in a huge, huge way. Back up at the front, however, Carson Gum still leading the way as we're now past halfway, and we're waiting for those pit stops to begin. And the race is really going to come down to who can come out of pit road fastest and cleanest. That's going to be a huge key factor for this race. And Carson Gum's lead is slowly slipping away as Henry Sanford is gradually reeling in the 60 bit by bit. Michael Norman kind of hanging out quietly back there in 3rd, less than a second behind on the previous lap, this time by... Lost a little bit of time, but still within reach, as Carson Gum actually ran a little bit faster than both Sanford and Norman. And now Carson Gum is going to end up catching lap traffic here momentarily, at least before pit stops occur. So this could shake up the top 3 quite a good bit. And Scott Groverston, I guess he's actually still kind of... I guess he's only about like a mile per hour or 2 off the pace from everybody else after he was in that first caution in that bizarre wreck. And I don't know how Rafael Leduc is still up to speed as he went flying in the air, landed hard on the wheels on top of the wall. You would have thought he'd have a massive suspension problem, but doesn't seem to have any problems whatsoever. He just got stuck at the tail end of the field and just hasn't been able to make much progress. But anyways, Carson Gum's lead slowly slipping as it's now under 0.3 of a second between the top 2 of Gum and Henry Sanford. And we're getting close to 20 laps to go, and you gotta wonder, when will pit stops occur? Pit stops are bound to happen at any moment. And it's all going to be a matter of who can come out fastest and cleanest. Because the race could come down to like when you decide to come to pit road. Do you decide to come in early to have a clean pit road, or do you wait until it gets congested and then you could end up losing a bunch of spots because of some issues with trying to get through pit road when everybody else is trying to get out? Those are the big questions when it comes to the pit strategy, especially in races like this where pit strategy is highly contestable. But Henry Sanford is now right there close to the back bumper of Carson Gum, although Michael Norman's slowly slipping away as he's losing a ton of ground. But he might be relying on the pit stops in hopes that he could get into a clean pit road, get through, and maybe find himself up there at the front for himself. But man, Henry Sanford looked like he thought about going to the inside, but now he's going to go to the inside here in turn 1, but not really getting much there. But now off of 2, bonsai pass off of 2, as Henry Sanford takes over the race lead for the moment, over the 60. And yet I have not seen anybody come to pit road yet. I'm very curious to know why that is the case. Because there's no way they're going to make it on 1 tank of fuel in this race. They are bound to come in. And just as I say that, here comes the top 3 coming in. Sanford, Gum, and Norman. Cole Deaver going to stay out. Who knows if that strategy is going to pan out. But now he's coming into pit road on the back stretch where it's a little bit congested. So that could cost him a little bit. We'll find out as Deaver gets into his stall relatively clean. And it looks like mostly going to be 4 tires. Yeah, it looks like everybody's going for 4 tires and fuel. So let's see how all this plays out. Deaver actually was sat on pit road for a long time, so that was a tough break for the 3. But Henry Sanford was the one to get out way further ahead of Carson Gum now. As Zachary Fitzwater stayed out for a while, but I don't know if he's come into pit road yet or not. No, he hasn't come to pit road yet. The top 5 of Traeger, Matthews, Lopez, Brock, and Fitzwater have yet to come to pit road. So they are bound to come in at some point. Or have they already pitted and that they're going for the master strategy? I don't know. Let me find the 88. There he is. Jackson Traeger currently leading here at Bristol with Kyle Matthews hot on his trail. I almost wonder, I don't recall them coming into pit road at all. Maybe they pitted under caution? I'm not entirely sure, but if these guys are going to try and stay out another 10 laps to the end, that's going to be incredible. Only 5 cars on the lead lap, and Zachary Fitzwater, what a strategy this would be for him to stay out and gain many more points than he thought possible to extend his points lead heading into the race on Wednesday. But Jackson Traeger's slowly pulling away from Kyle Matthews for the moment. But Matthews might be buying his time a little bit, but man, could they pull this off? Highly unlikely, but we'll see as it's now going to be 8 laps to go. Meanwhile, let's try and find Henry Sanford and company. There he is, Henry Sanford. Oh, Jackson Traeger, I guess he couldn't last longer coming into pit road for himself. But Kyle Matthews staying out. Does he have anything? Although Henry Sanford, whose first car lap down, is really closing the gap fast. And now Matthews and Lopez come in. But no... Fitzwater has come in. But William Brock stays out. He would currently be the leader. Is he going to try and risk it all? Gonna be very unlikely. Let's watch. Nope, he's coming into pit road. So at least he gets a valuable bonus point, which is, I think, what he was striving for. But meanwhile, let's go up and find where the current leader is. And that's Henry Sanford. There he is in turns 1 and 2. Carson Gum, not that far behind. So maybe Carson Gum, I don't know if he's going to have enough time, but he's going to have to really push the pedal to the metal as it's now 5 laps to go here at Bristol. Less than a half a second behind the 07 of Henry Sanford. We could be setting up for quite a memorable battle here. Henry Sanford and Carson Gum, two really good friends, but from different teams and different manufacturers. Margin now really shrunk. Carson Gum is pushing it fast, and he's going to have benefit of lap traffic ahead of him. That will really shake things up if they can catch up to them in time. But Carson Gum is now right there. He is right there. He cut the margin in more than half. But can he make a move? That's the question. Despite being in the lap traffic, can Carson make a pass? As we're coming to 2 laps to go, Carson running lower on the track in hopes he can dive it into the bottom. Didn't quite make it stick there, but he's going to have a couple more shots. We got a lap and a half to go. Henry Sanford trying to do all he can to hold off Carson Gum for the win. As the white flag is out and the margin grew by a little over a tenth, but does Carson Gum have one final shot? He's closing in fast. He's going to peek to the bottom. No, he doesn't quite make it happen. Checkered flag waving. Henry Sanford, by barely a car length, wins the Food City 500 at night at Bristol. Man, I thought Carson was going to make the bonsai pass, but I guess he just could not get it to stick. But Henry Sanford, win number 2 this season, and the second one in like the last 4 races or something like that. So Henry Sanford has been quietly emerging here in the closing race weeks of the season to make something good happen heading into season 10. But great job for Henry Sanford. And let's look at the rest of the results. Carson Gum, I really thought he had a shot there at the end. Maybe one more lap, he would have had it. But still, great points day, finishing strong in second. That could propel him into the top 5 in points more than likely. Michael Norman with his first top 5 in quite a long time, finishing in 3rd. Dylan Jacobs came out of nowhere at the end and get a top 5 in 4th. And then Charles Sanford finally gets his first top 5 finish of the season in 5th. Cole Deaver with a great run in the 6th position. Melissa Alexander with a solid run in 7th. Jonathan Zorline, much needed good run in 8th. Daniel Bichard with a solid performance in 9th. And then Arthur Xavier with his second career top 10 finish in 10th. Then there is your top 20, your top 30, and the bottom 5 for this week was Jessica Sheldon, Stuart Campbell, Raphael LeDuc, Scott Groverston, and Stephen Colon. So that does it for our coverage here tonight at Bristol for the Food City 500. Pretty good race, not as good as the first time we went here this season, but still a good race nonetheless. We head to our race on Wednesday, but until then, here is Henry Sanford's victory burnout as well as the point standings. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.